Neil's talked about Arsenal there. Do we even consider Arsenal for the top half of the league? I mean, you don't really know with them anymore. They've gone to shit.
Said perfectly. As the week went on, you could feel it. You had a sense that this is a great first game. This is a real proper banana skin. And then the whole movie script of the last time they played in the top flight, their last game was against Arsenal, and now their first game back is against Arsenal. Obviously, the story behind how Brentford came up, and then of course the shite show is that you're saying with Arsenal, it was you as it got on, you felt it, and then literally as soon as the whistle was blown, you didn't feel it anymore. You could see it. Just there was only one team in it pretty much for the entire game, but it was great. Now as a great opener in relation to the new ground, first time with the full fans and the whole lot, so it was fantastic. But as regards Arsenal, anyone who tries to have a real guess of where they're going to go this year, fair play to you, because it's a guess. Because oh my Christ, it could be anything from 5th to 15th, and I'm being generous saying 15th. It could be lower if it's going the way it is. Like Ben White's or no Ben White's and all these lads, the guys in midfield and up front, they offer nothing. Very like if Brentford are going to do that to you, everyone else must be rubbing their hands waiting for Arsenal.
And no Lacazette, no Aubameyang.
No.
Different stories
they were
coming
ill
out.
Or something.
Well, one ill, one question mark. So we don't really know what happened to Aubameyang. When you look at them, Dave, and you look at them up front, Martinelli. For me, I think Martinelli could be the poacher that they need. But for me, I don't trust the service.
No, Pepe was there again, who has failed to live up to the promise when he first came in. He came in with a big reputation of potentially being the next up and comer, and it was a big coup to get somebody as good as Pepe in. One of them that a lot of the big teams would have been after. And who else was up with him? Like even the guys in the middle, Smith Rowe and the guy, they were, it was all huffing and puffing. It was almost like they were pretending to be playing. It was like they were the fake versions of themselves. It was just so strange. The whole game, like Brentford just seemed to be up for it, and Arsenal didn't want to be there. And then, as Neil said, and you're dead right, the bench, you're scratching your head. Who was half of them? So I don't know where they're going. Arteta seems to have a bit of, I don't know what's the word, is a bit of faith in the board. Have a bit of faith in him, and he seems to be lasting a little bit longer than maybe one or two might expect. But that could go soon if the fans are like you can imagine if there was an Arsenal fan TV. I don't know. I presume there was one on Friday night, but you can imagine what it was like. But of all the clubs to be a fan of, it'd be an awful one to be, because how high they've fallen. I presume you've seen a bit of the Gary Neville show, The Overlap. They did a fan one during the week where it was Keane, Carragher, and they had the Arsenal guy on. And of course, I think they did it on purpose. They get the kind of deluded Arsenal fan who everything is positive about Arsenal. Don't why he's giving out about him. But he hit it, and I kind of completely forgot. 17 years since they won the title. Like, I know we slagged Liverpool in the 30, but Arsenal and the juggernaut that they were, and them and United, and it's 17 years. And they don't look like even challenging for top four anymore, let alone the league. So, biggest club were the biggest club in London, the new stadium. So technically the money was going to go up and up, and you're going to see Arsenal come back. And if anything, they're going backwards.
Do you think there's a problem at Arsenal, lads, where there's something not right with the senior pros, like Lacazette, Aubameyang, Partey, who was brought in for big money last year? They're bringing in these guys, and they're meant to be your leaders in the dressing room and your leaders on the pitch.
Louise and William as well.
They can't seem to get something out of these guys. They seem to just be able to do their own thing. I find that very strange in any club that your older, more experienced pros aren't chipping in whatsoever.
Well, is that not just a lack of leadership from Arteta? That doesn't seem to be. For me, he looks like he's the nice guy. That doesn't seem to be any ruthlessness there. If I was going to ask you the question, Neil, Arteta, if you were running the club, would you have Arteta as your manager? If you were Liverpool, would you have Arteta as your manager?
No. 100% no. And listen, it's not like he hasn't been there long enough now. You should be able to see Arteta's way of playing. They always say, you play in the imagery of your manager, the way he wants you to play. You look at Klopp, an immediate stamp on the way Liverpool play. I'm looking at Arteta and Arsenal, and as I just said there, I cannot believe the way he allows the senior players to go on in that club. Other than Xhaka, who, in fairness to him, at least gets on the bloody pitch every week, they don't really seem to have any natural born leaders in the team. I think Arteta is one of these guys that definitely sees youth as a benefit because he trusts the likes of Saka, the likes of Smith Rowe, and the Martinelli if he can keep him fit. But my biggest question would be of Arteta is how and why are you not getting the best out of the guys that are meant to be leading that team? And the buck stops with him at the end of the day. He's not getting the best out of them. Lacazette and Aubameyang, whatever's going on, he needs to nip that in the bud because he's going to be the one that will lose out and they'll have a new manager.
Edu is the director of football, and his name got mentioned at that thing the other day. And they said, "Oh yeah, he's our director. He's on holidays at the minute, though."
Yeah, during the transfer window.
Yeah, so that's Arsenal, boys, in a nutshell.
So this is what I was going to say to you, Dave. Like the recruitment, obviously the recruitment hasn't been good enough. David Luiz off Chelsea. Who else they got off Chelsea? Willian. These players are players that Chelsea didn't want, who are looking to challenge for the title. They're buying these players who weren't playing outstanding football. These are players who were, surplus to requirements.
Yeah,
so it's not just Arteta. Maybe, as you said, like the likes of Edu or whoever else is there at the moment, if he's on holidays, he shouldn't come back because that's lazy recruitment, isn't it?
100%. And then 2 warwards, Emi Martinez, potentially the best keeper in the Premier League at the moment. Let him go for 20 million and still looking at feckin' Ramsdale for 30 million. Like, Jesus, like to be an Arsenal fan right now, just to, like, once again, how the mighty have fallen. And as you said, Willian, Edu, Partey, another one who came with this great reputation on no nonsense Atletico Madrid midfielder, break things down. This is the meat we need in the midfield. Haven't seen it. Aubameyang gets the contract and just goes downwards. He's on the pig's back now. He's sorted for life. And his buddy Lacazette blows hot and cold. It's just...
That's what it shows. That shows me there's no authority there. There's no one stamping down on what should be going on. No one demanding, performances from players. They seem like they're on easy street and they're ready to point the finger at anyone else.
The worst thing at any Premier League club is when you have these guys on your wage bill and you can't get rid of them. Like I got a laugh today. Did you hear the one about Varane arriving at United, but he's not going to wear the number 5 because Phil Jones wouldn't give up his jersey? Is Phil Jones still at the club? Unbelievable. Picking up a pay. You can't ship these guys on. Like Arsenal are never going to get rid of Willian, David. Who's going to take these guys off their books? And they're on good money. No doubt about that.
Yeah, Roy Keane said it at that thing the other day, and he said it's all about, like, he kept going on about recruitment, but he said recruitment in the sense of getting rid of some of these players on the fat wages, but you just can't shift them. They just sit there and gladly take their paycheck, and they stop you from potentially getting in better players because you can't afford to bring them in. And obviously we've seen what happened at Barcelona, and that's why certain things have happened. But that's just as much of a problem with the big boys when they do commit to some of these players and then they're duds. They're like, I don't care, I have another 4 years left. I'm getting 200 grand a week. I'm going nuts because I won't even get a quarter of that anywhere else. And that's the problem with Arsenal now as well. They're still trying to shift some of that crap before they can even try and get in the new batch of crap.
Yeah. Well, see, again, it didn't take much for you to know, for an Arsenal director or recruitment to know that David Luiz was David Luiz, and you're gonna get what you get, so there's something badly wrong there. It looks like there's a hat there and there's a lucky dip, and we'll pick out whatever one's in there, and that's the first one we'll go with, and we'll feck off on holiday. So yeah, they're in dire straits. And could Arsenal finish low? Yeah. Could they flirt with relegation? Do you know what? It wouldn't even surprise me, because I'm not seeing huge amount of qualities in this Arsenal side. And if there's not huge amount of quality and there's definitely no fight, that spells big trouble. So, yeah, I'd be worried for Arsenal now, to tell you the truth.